How's it going, guys and girls and cats and squirrels? Today we're going to be looking back through this year on my channel, NeoGG. Also want to say happy New Year's Eve to everyone. Hope everyone's having a great day. Hope everyone had a good year. Everyone's year was kind of different. This one was definitely a weird one. Especially for me and for a lot of people, but in hindsight, it wasn't actually that bad. My first idea for this video was to kind of just go through my entire channel, but it was more for my 300th video. But I think this time we should just go through the entire year's worth of content that I've made, and I want to just see everything and remember everything and go through it all with you guys. So we are on my lovely channel here, 158 subscribers. Subscribe if you haven't. We're just gonna go ahead and look at this whole year. So I did see what video was the first, and surprisingly it's exactly what I thought it was going to be. So if we scroll down here, we're going to go through everything here, but luckily we don't have to go that far to see the first video that I posted this year on January 7th. It wasn't the first, but it was the first video of this new year, 2024. So of course the first video was Lethal Company with my friends. It was Dank and my other friend Jesting and I. We got this new game, I think in December of 2023, and then we waited until the beginning of 2024 to actually start playing it. Or I think we actually started playing it and I just decided to upload it on the 7th. And of course this whole video is pretty iconic at this point, and it's actually I think the best performing, mostly because me, my friends, and like everyone just kept rewatching and rewatching because it was just so funny. It was the first time I really doubled down on the funny edits, and it was like me actually trying a little bit. I'm still kind of bad at it, but I've kind of improved throughout the whole year. I employ a lot of new techniques that I've learned nowadays. And then nowadays, I know how to put my little avatar in a better spot. So like right now it's just in the corner and it's shorter. In this video, you can see in the little preview, it was just up kind of high, blocking most things, but I've kind of learned throughout, and we'll see that kind of progress as well. Just me getting better at doing little things here and there. And then of course we did the second one. It was great. It was super funny. Then I believe we took a little break in between, and it took a while for the third episode to come out, but it was the most interesting because of the enemies that we encountered in it, and just the game was just so fun at the beginning of the year. We still even played it. I'm gonna go into this game a little bit at later on, because throughout the year we actually kept playing little by little and like a little bit more and more, but it wasn't always with the same people. I had multiple friends that I would play the game with, and it was just kind of interesting and fun, and half the time I never really recorded any of it because I just wanted to have fun playing the game and have fun with my friends. So then the next video was actually the first time we involved my other friend, Exile. It's the first time he was involved. He had gotten the game, and I think for a while I wanted to involve him. That's why 11 months here and 10 months here. There was a bit of a gap, so we waited until we were able to add him, and it was a total blast. This was the most chaotic one, because I believe it's when like 5 of the monsters appeared at the same time, and it was absolutely insane. I recommend watching the first season of like Lethal Company on here. It's insane. I have a playlist up there, so you can go ahead and take a look. But after that, I think we stopped playing for a little bit, and I wanted to do specific things. So if we go up immediately, for those of you that have been on here for a long time, since the very beginning, like halfway through, I started playing a mobile game called Dokkan Battle. I actually don't play it anymore, and I'm pretty much just retired from it. But I think this is the last time I actually played it, because I did some kind of ticket summon stuff, and it was actually using my avatar, surprisingly. But this is pretty much the last time I ever played this game, and I think it's going to stay that way for a while, because I kind of wanted to get away from gacha games and stuff, because I don't know, they're all just the same after a while, and I was more interested in different things anyway. And then after that, we kind of just goofed off. I made like a poker plan with Poker Face in Fortnite, and this was a collaborative thing with one of my friends that didn't play Lethal Company with us. It was actually a different friend at the time, and I had this idea, and we wanted to play the game anyway, so we just hopped in. Instead of just having it be the normal song, I just went ahead and put in Poker Plan just for fun, and we had like cowboy outfits and stuff. It was really funny. And then after that, we tried a little bit of a different approach to games that I would find and play. So this game, which was a difficult game about climbing, I remember being super excited. This was like way before I even uploaded this, obviously, because only the trailer was out at the time. I was like, oh my god, it's gonna be so fun to play. and I played one bit of it. I made only one episode on it, and I did record a second episode, but I got so heated because it was super frustrating. So I think I still have the footage. I don't know if I'm ever going to release it. I probably won't because I didn't really progress that much, but the game is fun. I wasn't like super angry about it, but that is why there's only one episode of this. But it was a weird time. I think if I look through, at this point it was March, which is actually my birth month, so that's really cool. So I got this game and I just started playing it, and it did pretty well. I obviously could have done another episode and probably would have done well as well, but I don't know, because of just how angry it made me. I still have the game installed just for me to play on my own, but I don't think I'm ever going to really get back to it. If I ever do, it might be on a live stream, but that's kind of just where I left it. Then after that, we kind of moved on back to Lethal Company because it had been a full like month or so since the part 4 video, which was down here. And I remember we recorded these preemptively, like we pre-recorded them. It was just up to me to edit them and release them and do all this stuff with them. But I took a long time, but it was still very, very like fun to play it. So I thought I have to get this out because it's just super interesting and fun and scary at the same time. And then shortly after that, about a month later, I didn't play this game this year. I played it this year, but I didn't play the beta this year. It was the previous year, 2023, where I played Sons of the Forest, but it was an early access. It wasn't until 2024, about 8 months ago, where they finally released 1.0, and it was pretty much a full release. And that's why I made this video where I just go in again and start from the very beginning. I had made like 6-episode series beforehand, but I renamed it to early access because in my mind the game wasn't finished. I would rather just wait till the game was polished and like a little bit fleshed out. So I did wait a long time, and eventually it came out and I was really excited. I went ahead and started playing and everything was going well. I will talk about what happened with this game because from your guys' perspective, it just disappeared. I stopped playing it completely, and I will explain that in a moment. But then something huge happened afterwards. I decided that this little game called Helldivers 2 was becoming really fun, and we were getting really good at it. So then I decided, why not record some clips, and maybe I could go back and make a cool compilation. Well, that didn't work out, but I still had the clips, and I decided to make a GMV is what they would call it because it's a game. But at the time, the reason the thumbnail is like this is AMV is because I only knew of AMVs at that time. And AMV is basically just an anime music video. I think that's what this means. But a GMV is kind of the opposite. It uses a game instead. That's why there's a G in it. As of right now, you guys will be seeing this on New Year's Eve. This is pretty much like one of the best performing videos at the time. Actually, no, that's not even true. Right now, it's really good right now. We're almost to 4K views, and which is bizarre. It just started blowing up recently. Like I'd say a few months ago, it slowly started climbing because at first it was only like maybe 100, 200, 300 views, which was insane, but it wasn't thousands yet. As the year went on, just after uploading more and more and more, it just kept blowing up and blowing up and blowing up. And right now it's almost at 4K, which is insane. Every time it reached a milestone, I posted in the community tab, just like thanking everybody about it. And I'm gonna have to do it again for 4,000, which is insane. I had no idea that this was gonna get as big because at the time, which would be pretty obvious now, is because at the time, 8 months ago, the Deadpool and Wolverine trailer had came out. The movie had not come out yet, so I had no idea that they were gonna have a kind of slowed down cinematic choir version of Like a Prayer. For this video, I used the normal song because that's what they used in the trailer. If I just would have waited a little bit more, I probably could have used the like orchestra version that they played in the movie, but this predates any of that. It's only after the trailer for Deadpool and Wolverine. So that was kind of the reason I picked the song. It just all stuck together, and a lot of you thought so as well, and I'm just super thankful that these kind of do as well as they do because it is something that I like doing. I don't know why, but like just music videos, AMVs, stuff like that, some of them are kind of okay, some of them are meh. Like I think this one's kind of meh. When I look back at this, it's cool, but it's not the best I could do, but it's the best I was able to do at that time, and I think that's enough. And then after that, I didn't really, since it didn't do popular at the time, I thought, okay, we'll just leave that. It's doing good. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna make any more for the time being. I moved on to just another game that I've kind of just been playing all the time. But I think this was the last time I played and showed a game called Egg Inc. Now there's nothing special about this game. It's pretty much just an idle, like, clicker-esque kind of game where money just goes up and up and up. But because I've played it so long, I just decided to make content on it, just because like any game that you're good at, I think it's fair to make content on, especially if you know what you're talking about, because that could help a lot of other people. And that was the case for this game. And in this specific case, an update had happened where, like, they changed a bunch of stuff, and I thought, oh, I'll just cover it. But besides that, nothing really special, but it was the last time I played this game on the channel. I still play it to this day, but it was the last time for here. And then after that, I kind of moved on to Sons of the Forest again, just kind of continuing the game, doing whatever, and it didn't do that well. I was still experimenting with thumbnails. This wasn't the best thumbnail, and even if we go back to this first one, I didn't even mention, this thumbnail was changed like months in advance, or months after, not in advance, but it was like, it was a different thumbnail before, and I changed it to this after getting some advice that the first thumbnail wasn't that good. And I think when I did change it, it did bump up to 44, because I think at the time it was around 7, like the second episode is, but I didn't really double down on this thumbnail change with the yellow and like the better kind of view. And this was the first time I did it for this one, and it did kind of boost it a little bit. But I was kind of just lazy to do it for all the other ones, so that's why episode 2 isn't really that good. But it was, the game itself is fun. I will discuss even more why I quit it, because that video is coming up as well. But just after that, I kind of just stopped playing slightly, and we moved on to other things, which of course was another GMV that I made. Didn't do as well as this Helldivers one, but it did do a lot compared to all of my other videos. So I decided that because I'm kind of getting better at these, I want to also get better and improve. I decided to make one for Lethal Company, and it was the first time that I incorporated footage from other sources. So I think I even mentioned it, and I have it all listed in the description, but the sources the channels I got the footage from are all listed. I kind of just took from trailers, from people's like compilations, and that's the thing, that's also the other thing, they were from compilations most of the time. I kind of just like tagged them so that they could get a little bit of credit as well, because I was making this whole thing, and it's one of my favorite songs from Try Hard Ninja, which was It's Me, which is commonly paired with FNAF. I think it is just a FNAF song at its core, but this is just another case of me trying out this really interesting concept of taking these images and like videos from this game and then putting a song around it. And I thought it was pretty well made. I think I made it on, I can't really remember. I think I made it on my PC, because this one I didn't actually mention. It's in the description. I made this on my phone, and it seems to be doing really well. I don't think it's because of that. I think just because of like what the imagery is like, and everyone likes this song. Everyone loves Helldivers. I think that's why it's doing well. Everyone likes Lethal Company, but I think Lethal Company videos, or especially music videos, don't do as well. Which is, it still did very well, but it's not doing the numbers that this Helldivers one is doing. And also when I hover over it, it's not playing video, which is weird. And then after the Lethal Company thing, I kind of moved on to Sons of the Forest again. But I think at this point, I did think like this wasn't really that interesting of a thing to be doing and playing. It was fun to play, like I keep saying, but I don't know. It started getting pretty dull. I didn't really know entirely what I was doing. I only knew like half of the game. Everything just took a long time, and to translate that in a video, it wasn't really working out to be like 30-minute episodes when I only do a little bit of stuff. I'd have to do hours and hours of stuff if I wanted to make anything interesting, but I just never had the time to actually like dedicate to this game. Even though I was waiting for it for a long time, I just couldn't find myself to finish it completely. And then something really weird happened. I had gotten this game pretty much because it was on sale, and it looked pretty interesting. It's called Super Bunny Man, and the eye-catching thing about it was that me and my friends could play it, and only I need to own it. So it was through this Steam Remote Play, which is a great feature that they have for like couch games like these. And so I didn't expect this to get as big as it did, but for some reason, I remember making it, and it was the funniest time I've ever had in a game. Like, if we go in, it's just nonstop laughter. We were just enjoying ourselves, and it was super fun. But I never thought anything of it afterwards. I made it, I released it, and it just, for whatever reason, kept reaching higher and higher and higher views. And I noticed that when it reached 3,000 in like, I think a few days, which is like, was pretty strange at first, but I expected that to just like kind of stay the same. I just moved my mic. But after that, it went to 5,000, then 6,000, then 8,000, then 10,000, then 12,000. And it just kept getting higher and higher, and I had no idea what to do. I was more scared than anything because I didn't want this kind of random thing to just randomly blow up, and then I was afraid that everything would just kind of collapse. It's kind of weird, but I didn't really want that much attention. I liked the attention that I got from these other ones, but this one was just very frightening because I didn't know what was going to happen. Eventually, it did slow down. We're at 26,000, and it didn't grow any higher than that. It probably is every now and then, but it did eventually slow down and reach a wall, which was 26,000 views, which I never actually acknowledged. I'm pretty much acknowledging it for the first time now, and every now and then I'll reference it in other videos. But at this point, I had to stop everything because this video alone, I think, got me around 50 something subscribers. And at the time, I was at like 52 subscribers. So the thing that was fast approaching was my 100 subscriber milestone. I was going to make a video about 80 subscribers because that was going to be even more insane. But it just kept growing and growing all the way up to 100. And I guess we could kind of skim over this Sons of the Forest video because it was just, I think it was something I just released afterwards, and then this one just kept going. So I released this while this was still growing, so I never expected this to get higher as high as it did. After this one, the bunny video just completely skyrocketed all my progress, and I had to go straight into my 100 subscriber special, which I didn't know what to do at first, but I think it was pretty obvious what I had to do. I basically took snippets of all my previous videos before this point, and I put them on a collage, kind of just counting the years, as you can see right here. And it still makes me really emotional when I watch it because of the song I use and everything, but it was just like I was seeing flashbacks of everything that I've done in the past, even though they were just little clips, and it wasn't even every video I've ever made. It was just insane. I think even this video got another 20 subscribers, which was just insane. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect the special to be even more special, but it got a handful of views, mostly from the people that were kind of just always watching the channel, which was really cool. I had some really nice comments in this one, and it was overall just really fun to make. The song I picked was pretty much perfect. I remember debating whether or not I should keep the audio that was in the clips on, but I think in the end I just decided to turn them all off. I just want the music and I just want the clips in the background. So that's what ended up happening. After this, everything kind of just slowing down. Not too much though, because after this I played a little bit more Sons of the Forest, but this was the very last one. I did not play anymore after this. I didn't make any more videos after this. This one was just, I think this one was even recorded before, I think it was before this, obviously. I don't know if it was recorded after the bunny video or before. I might have the footage, but I don't think so. But this one was the last, and the reason honestly was because, like I said before, it just took so long to do everything and it didn't seem that interesting. I wanted to leave it up to other people to play the game because I know the community was playing the game and they were having lots of fun with it, and there were tons of updates happening. But I think the problem was that it kept updating and adding more, and it just kept like impeding my progress because I had to now focus on this brand new thing that they added, and I couldn't really keep up with it. So I kind of just stopped the whole series there. I don't know if I'm ever going to come back to Sons of the Forest. I still have it installed, so I could always come back, but I don't know. It's just really, it's really strange. I don't know what I'll really do with it. And the part that hurts about it is that the whole reason I played Sons of the Forest is because the first series, like the first real series on this channel, was me playing the first game, and we completed that one after like 9 episodes, and it was like the most fun I've ever had at the time. I think after that we heard of a second game, and we just waited a long time. Basically, since the beginning of the channel, we've been waiting for Sons of the Forest, and then it looks great. I'm glad it's like it was almost like an indie game that could be like a AAA game, but it didn't really do it for me that much. I like everything about it, but like I miss the idea of it, but actually playing it isn't really like doing it for me anymore. So that's pretty much the reason why I kind of just stopped this series, and I don't really know if I'll come back to it. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Well, then after that whole thing, since I knew that the GMV videos, even though this wasn't a GMV video, it was a thank you video, it still was kind of like a GMV video because I had music in the background and I was kind of just pairing the things. However, that did not stop me from trying it again with more Helldivers. So at the time, 4 months ago, between this and I believe this one, there was like a whole thing with the community where they updated the game, but they made Helldivers 2 worse in a way. And throughout these months, they kind of wanted to reverse that, and it wasn't until 4 months ago, I think it was during the summer, was when they actually kind of went in and fixed everything. They called it Escalation of Freedom, and they had all these new updates, all these new things to do and explore, and like enemies to fight, and it was super fun. And I just had to make another one, and I paired it with 115, which if you don't know what 115 is, it's basically a song made with Call of Duty Black Ops. I think it's in the 3rd Black Ops, as like, because Kino der Toten is what it's involved with as an Easter egg, but you could also just listen to the song anyway on other things, and that's what I paired it up with. And I played it with bugs because I remember this one was against automatons. That's why this one's called automatons, and then this one's terminids. So that was the whole thing with this one. But the reason it didn't like get that many views is I think it wasn't that well edited on my part. So, and I was still kind of just trying out new things, and I think my friend put it kind of in a way that I agree with, and it's that like the action wasn't that exciting or heavy, and there wasn't a lot of it. So I think that's what kind of impeded its progress a lot in the view department. But I still enjoy it. I just look back and like see all the errors, but sometimes I do look back and I'm like, I could have improved this and that, but I always just decide to incorporate that in future projects. Once that was all done, I decided to do something really weird, but it was something that I feel was necessary. So what I decided to do after doing this one, I decided to make a roadmap. It's not playing for some reason, but I called it my 2024 Q3 content roadmap. And what I wanted to do basically was have the 3rd quarter of 2024 mapped out, and I wanted to follow a strict schedule. It wasn't too strict, but it was kind of strict. This was where at the beginning it fell apart, but it turned out actually great in terms of me getting things done, which I will explain. But in this video, I promised to play more Sons of the Forest. I never did. With this video, I promised to play more Lethal, and I decided, because the Resident Evil series was on sale, I decided to buy all of them. Most of them, because it was September and October and a little bit of November. I wanted to kind of do that whole Halloween horror game type thing, and these were going to be AAA games for the most part. So what I decided to do was have Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, Resident Evil 4, and then I was going to do 7 and 8. I think for October, that's when Sparking Zero was going to come out, and I was also going to do more of that. And for the most part, it honestly worked, and the whole purpose of this roadmap was to finally try to finish something, because for a lot of my channel, it's full of a lot of projects that are unfinished. They're untouched. They're like not all the way through done, which I'm kind of like guilty of. It's mostly because I was like lazy and I didn't really want to do it all the time, and I don't know, just weird stuff. But I wanted to change that with this whole promise. So then after that, before I started, I went ahead and just did a few things like Lethal Company, and actually this video right here where I played, this was me splitting the screen into 4 parts, and it's all me because back then, years ago, I played a game on my phone called BeatStar, and there was a specific song that I played, and that video got, I think, the most views for the time. And so what I wanted to do was kind of have a video kind of showing my appreciation for everyone that stuck around during that time and just kept watching all those BeatStar videos, because I know I pumped out a lot of them. It was a bit too much at the time, but I enjoyed playing the game regardless. But because that one was the most viewed, I kind of made a video dedicated to those people where, because they released it in Fortnite, in their festival mode, I decided to play every instrument on hard and record each one, and each one is actually on flawless. Like, I hit every note perfectly, and I decided to put that all in one video, and kind of as a memento to when I played BeatStar all those days ago, which surprisingly, as a little like sneak peek, I actually think I want to play that again, and actually have them as shorts. But we'll see how that branches out, because I don't actually know if it'll work, because right now I'm doing different types of shorts, and we're gonna see how those progress as well. And I was using the Lethal Company character, which was just kind of funny anyway. And so again, before actually doing the Resident Evil series, I made another Lethal Company episode. I actually forgot. We stopped playing the first time, but we wanted to play again because they updated it a lot more, and he added back the elevators and all this cool stuff. And what I wanted to do was not make a continuation. I wanted to start fresh. So what we did was just start new, and I called it season 2. And that's what this became. I think it's like a 3-episode part, or 2. I think it's 3 at this point. And so we kind of just played. It got quite a bit of views, which I think they're just from the people that really love watching the Lethal Company series. So pretty glad about that. And then after that was when I officially kicked off our Resident Evil marathon, if you will. So we started off with Resident Evil 2. We're gonna just go skip through these because it's a lot of the same thing. I was having lots of fun playing the game. It was the first time I was playing these games, because I've always wanted to play Resident Evil 4 when my cousin had it for his PS3, I think. I just never got around to it, and he always talked about it being scary, so I just always wanted to see what it was like. But I thought it was only fair that I start from the very beginning. Obviously, this isn't the first game, but I do have that game. We could actually go play it as well. I wanted to also start with the remakes because they were just more modern. I wanted to see what it was like. So then after a while, we just started playing more and more of them, eventually finishing Resident Evil 2. And I wanted to skip immediately to 3, but what I also wanted to do was, because I play a lot of Fortnite, and there was at the time the Doom season, there was a chance to play as Dr. Doom, and at that time it was super low of a chance. So this little 5-minute episode was me capturing the Doom island. Wait, this will make no sense if you guys don't play Fortnite. I showcased this little pretty much demo of me playing as Doom. It only lasted like 5 minutes, but I still got the victory and everything. And like I actually predicted, because it's a rare thing to get in the game at the time, they increased the rarity, or they decreased the rarity later on. But at this time, he was super rare of a spawn to get. So at the time, that's why it did so well. So it got like 1,500 views, which was pretty good. But I obviously don't play a lot of Fortnite on the channel. I played a lot in my own time, but I don't play it a lot here, so it did pretty well just compared to everything else, because it's obviously Fortnite as well. Fortnite videos pretty much tend to get a lot of views, but I don't really like farming them, because what am I going to do? I can't really do anything in Fortnite anyway. So then after that, you guys will know this if you actually watched my Resident Evil series. I remember rating Resident Evil 3, I think at the very bottom of the list. It was really fun at the time, like I enjoyed it, but after a while, I realized it's almost the same as Resident Evil 2, and a lot of people actually felt the same way. So I think it was fair for me to actually rate it lower, because I think Resident Evil 2 was great. I highly enjoyed it. I was having so much fun, and it was actually a really long series. It's only 5 episodes that I did compared to the 4 for 3, but it felt like such a long game in reality. I don't know, I think it was also just because I played for like longer episodes, longer sessions, and then that's what became the episodes, and it was pretty insane. But Resident Evil 3 just pretty much felt like 2 with another character. I really like Jill though. Jill is like a fascinating character to me. It's just the game itself that kind of is rated low for me. And then after that, we went into what is now my top favorite Resident Evil game, Resident Evil 4, which I guess I should have seen coming, because it's everyone else's favorite as well. A lot of people like 7 and 8. I like them too, but 4 just hit that perfect tone. It helps the fact that you get to play as Leon again, and he's just a character that you know from like all the previous games, and you're just kind of used to him. and he controls way better in here because he's actually trained and whatnot. I could go hours talking about it, but we're pretty much just talking about the whole entire series in general. So the whole game was fun. It didn't do well view wise, but I still enjoyed the whole thing. It took 11 episodes to beat it, and I'm actually glad it did because it was way more fleshed out game, obviously because it's just a remake of the original game, and I'm sure that one was great too. But this one was just a lot longer, a lot more episodic, and it was like really fun to go through and see all these new characters that I've never seen before, especially Ashley, which was pretty interesting. It was a weird mechanic itself, but it was just super fun overall. And then after that, I took, I think, like a day or so to kind of get my bearings after the whole 3 Resident Evil games in a row. And I did like a little bit of a Fortnite video just to kind of mix it up a bit. And it was also just involving a glitch with XP, which who's not going to want XP in that game? But after that, we kind of just moved on to, of course, Resident Evil 7 and kind of like back to like their old ways as well with horror and stuff, which I liked. But the problem with this game to me was just how it was just a lot harder. To be frank, and I think I just got annoyed by it. Especially some of the puzzles were kind of weird to me, but I eventually did get through them, but it was just really annoying. And this was the point after this 3rd episode. I remember getting so upset that I took like, I don't know, a week before I actually finished the game. And after recording this one, I went ahead and just started working on the next episode for Lethal Company because I was like getting real tired of Resident Evil at that time. And so this one was really fun as well. I remember it was just Dank blowing himself up all the time, of course. So that was really funny. Then after that, we finally finished Resident Evil 7. I didn't want to pack 2 episodes. I didn't want to make 2 split up. I just wanted to finish it, get it over with. That's why it's like 2 hours and 30 minutes. So we finished the game. It was great, but not my most favorite. I think it was like 3rd place or 4th or something like that, compared to the other ones. And then after that was the last game on my little roadmap, which was insane because I actually finished these other games, which was just pretty huge to me because that's something I don't really do often. It set in stone that I can finish these games. I can get through them. I just need to want to do it, you know? And so after the first episode, I kind of got a feel for the game. It was really fun. And then everything just kind of kicked off. We started doing boss after boss in just 1 episode's length. And it got pretty fun, especially with Lady Dimitrescu. I remember Dank actually also knows about this game in the series, so they were all pretty much helping me in things that I didn't understand, so shout out to them. Then after that was actually the last episode we did for Lethal Company Season 2, which was episode 3, and this one I got kind of involved more into the editing. I think I went kind of crazy. It doesn't have that many views, but I remember trying new things for it. I think this was the time I started trying weird stuff in terms of editing. So I'll have to go back and check what I actually did, but I remember this was the last one we did. And then afterwards, I actually liked the breaks in between some of these longer episodes. It was a lot more, it was really refreshing. After that, we defeated Donna Beneviento, which was the doll thing. Then we defeated Moreau. Actually, no one watched this, which was kind of funny. And then we went on to Heisenberg. And then one of the saddest endings to a Resident Evil game. Just, I don't know if I should spoil it, but like a lot of stuff happens in here. And it was I think this one got me upset too. But I think it was also the first time I actually didn't record the first few minutes. So I had to actually like go back and restart it. I think I mentioned it in the video, but we are now reaching the last 4 episodes for this year. So let's move on to the next thing. After this whole series, after the roadmap, I knew that I could like kind of just take a deep breath and just kind of relax now because I actually did what I set out to do. And so I think after that, I remember making a community post. It was basically a list of games that I wanted to play and that I was going to set out to do them here and there. And so the first one that I could just knock out was, of course, just Donut County, which was actually a little short game that you could finish in less than 2 hours if you really went at it. But I remember getting this knocked out. It was really funny because of all the voices and stuff. And it was actually pretty cool, a pretty satisfying game as well. And then after this, I think I took a pretty long break after it, and we actually moved on to one of my favorite new episodes to come out, which is this brand new Helldivers 2 GMV video that I made. So this one is very good, but also for some reason not as good as the previous one. it's still doing way better than the 115 one, which I'm glad, because for this one I went kind of ham on everything. I incorporated some stuff that I've been learning throughout the entire year, and I just kind of put it all together into one, which is this. So this specific GMV uses Washing Machine Heart as the song, and the special thing about it is that it combines Terminids and Automaton missions, which is something I had an idea for a while, but it wasn't until I did the Terminid one for 115 that I thought, okay, we could make another one, but this time have both of the factions involved. As of recording this, actually, we now have a third faction, which will come to as no surprise because everyone knows already. But it's actually the Illuminant, and I have a plan for it, but I don't think it'll work. I'll have to think of something if you guys really want another GMV of this, because I enjoy making them. They just take a long time, which is why this one was a month ago and the most recent video is 3 days ago. So after this, I was just kind of trying to think of things to do, and I think what happened as well is that I got sick after this, which is why I'm kind of sick in this second part. I was sick with something. I didn't know what it was. I think it was just a common cold, but it was super severe. I had a super high fever. It was actually probably the flu more than anything. So that's why the kind of progress on everything kind of slowed down, but I am back doing more things. This is going to come out tomorrow on the 31st. And yeah, so then after that, of course, we move on to A Quiet Place, which is an ongoing series right now. I'm really excited to be playing it right now. We're on to episode 2. I believe when this comes out, actually, episode 3 will be out. So this is like way before. So tomorrow, episode 3 will come out for New Year's Eve, and this video will also come out tomorrow. So we're gonna have 2 things coming out tomorrow. Hopefully, if I finish the third one on time. I should. It's not that long. But yeah, so this has been all the year's worth of content. This whole 2024 year, it's been really interesting, from the bunny video to the GMVs to Lethal Company to the Resident Evil series. It's all been just really insane. We're almost to 200 subscribers now. Technically, we're about to reach 160. And yeah, just subscribe if you like anything I do so that I can keep doing more of it. With that has been the whole 2024 lineup of videos that I've done. It's not a lot. I never made like hundreds of videos this year, but I don't think that matters. I think what matters is that I made what I liked making, which for the most part I did. I set this out as a roadmap and a promise, but I did always want to play Resident Evil, which is why I enjoyed making them and enjoyed doing them. And it was just all fun all around. But yeah, I think that should be a good spot to end this. It's probably a little bit longer than I expected, but I think it's a good thing to kind of go back and talk about the things that I've done, like all these things down here's the progression of the channel, and like it's good to talk about my headspace during those times and like what I'm thinking right now and stuff like that. And I actually forgot that my avatar was in here the whole time. But with that, that's going to be the end of this little, it's not even an episode, it's just a little review episode of myself. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and again, Happy New Year's. You guys will be seeing this on New Year's Eve. Hope everyone had a good year 2024, and I wish you all a Happy New Year's. Take care, guys.